And I asked myself, I said, well, hang on a minute, is that really fair? Is it really ethical to do that? I believe that what we're doing is we are helping people. We're giving people an alternative solution. You could be whatever kind of investor you want. But if you could be an ethical investor where you're really trying to put the seller first, and you're saying, how can I help you? And you're thinking, and you're feeling, how can I help you? I promise you, you'll do more deals, you will make more money, and you'll sleep better at night. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Property Magic Podcast. And I want to tackle something I've mentioned in a few previous episodes, but it's all about understanding how we can help motivated sellers. That's what this podcast episode is all about. There are a lot of people who get a bit concerned when they think about buying properties below market value. Is it really fair on the seller? And I must admit, I had this. When I first learned back in 2006 from a guy called David, who was based up in Leeds, he was buying in properties in Durham for 30% below market value. He was doing about one deal every single month. And I asked myself, I said, well, hang on a minute, is that really fair? Is it really ethical to do that? I believe that what we're doing is we are helping people. We're giving people an alternative solution. They've got a property they need to sell for whatever reason. And we're saying, look, we can do this for you. And for some people, buying at a discount is not going to work. And probably for most people, it's not going to work. However, when we find people who are genuinely motivated and their problem is bigger than the amount of money they're going to get, they just want to solve that problem. And let me give you a great example. So last week, one of my masterminders completed on a deal. Steve, he actually did our mastermind program many years ago, but he's kept in property. He's got a multi-million-pound portfolio right now. And he, like I recognise, it's an amazing time to be doing deals. So he was contacted on the 15th of December by someone who had just had a sale fall through. Now in the UK, 1 in 3 sales fall through. And I want you to think about this for a moment. If you've ever sold a property, you know it's not an enjoyable experience. And what happens is you put the house on the market, you have someone who finally comes along, gives you an offer you accept, and it starts moving along. And then maybe months later, when you've already mentally moved on, you've spent the money, you get a call from your solicitor or your estate agent saying, I'm sorry, the sale's not happening. And it's an absolute nightmare. You're back to square one. Now, the particular seller that had called Steve is an 85-year-old gentleman. He was living in Staffordshire, and being quite old, he wanted to spend a bit more time with family, and his daughter lived up in Scotland. And he wanted to move up to Scotland. He had a lovely property by the seaside that was 10 minutes drive from his daughter instead of the 1,000 miles round trip that it was to go and see her up in Scotland or for her to come down to see him. And so he wanted to buy this dream house. And he had his property on the market for £325,000. Now, he needed to sell. He dropped the price down to 300, and eventually he accepted an offer for 275, which was slightly below. It's probably worth about 300,000, slightly below market value. But he was happy to do that because it was more important for him to move up to Scotland, to live close to his daughter and his grandkids, and that's what he wanted to do for the rest of his life. But unfortunately, the sale dragged on and fell through. Now, he was supposed to be completing on his purchase on his property in Scotland at the end of January. And with his sale falling through on the 15th of December and what the Christmas and all the solicitors shutting down, it didn't give him much time to save his dream home. So he reached out, Steve spoke to him, Steve went round to the property within 24 hours. And that's a really important point. When you're dealing with motivated sellers, they need speed and certainty. If someone says, I really need to sell my house, yeah, well, I'll come around next week sometime, that's not going to work. You need to go around quickly. Now, Steve also took the time to build the relationship with the property owner to find out what was the problem, what was important to him. He spent a few hours in the house, build that connection, and Steve's got a business partner, Rosin, and she was talking to the daughter, and they kind of built the relationships. They were very responsive. Whenever they had a question, they were responding the same day to make the sellers believe and understand that they would keep their word and they would do the transaction as quick as it was needed, especially as they were let down by someone else in the past. And it's interesting, I know because I saw the testimonial video that the daughter gave on behalf of her dad, saying how delighted he was that this sale had happened, even though it was a significant discount, because Steve and Roseanne did what they said they would do. They didn't mess him around. They delivered, and he was able to move into his dream home. And that was more important. By the way, he bought this property years and years ago for a lot less money. So he was still selling it for more than he had bought it for. And it allowed him to make the move that he wanted to make. So Steve was aware from the conversation that a couple of other fast sale companies had spoken to this gentleman, and one had offered him 240. Bear in mind, it was at 325 originally. Then 300, sold at 270. Someone offered him 240, and someone else had offered him 225. And Steve really understood what the seller needed. He said, look, if you really want to do it quickly, I can do that, but I'm going to have to buy cash. That's expensive for me to do. So I need to get a price. And he suggested a price he knew would work for the seller. And the seller said, yes, as long as you do it in the time scale, we're happy to move forward. Now that price was £190,000. Significantly less than two other offers, one at 225, one at 240. And Steve said to Joe, why did you go with me in the end? And he said, well, first of all, you took the time to get to know me, Steve. You asked me questions, you found out what I wanted. The other two companies, they literally came in, quick look round, made me a really low offer. And then one made me a low offer without even visiting the property. By the way, never do that. Never make an offer to someone that's really low without actually looking at the property, because people get offended. They get offended. You'll give them a really low price without even looking at their property. So don't do that. Make sure you go around and view the property. And because Steve had built this great rapport and he did what he said and it was ethical. Now, is it ethical to buy at such a discount? Well, if it's solving the gentleman's way, he's given him a solution, the seller doesn't have to take that solution if he doesn't want to. So I think as long as you stick to your word and you're giving someone a solution to their problem, if they want to do it, that's absolutely ethical. What isn't ethical, the companies that maybe offered 240 or 225, I don't know who they were, but there are companies out there who at the day of exchange will say, oh, by the way, we can't give you that offer before. We're going to give you 210, 200, whatever. Now, I think that is unethical because you're messing people around. You're taking advantage of the fact that they need to get a quick solution. So don't do that. Don't do that. It's totally unethical. And after all, I think you want to sleep well at night knowing that we're helping people. We're putting some good karma out there. If people want to sell at a certain price, great. If they don't, no problem at all. And when you make these low offers to people, remember to follow up. It's part of my 5-step framework to do more deals. You've probably heard this on these webinars before, but step 1 is to make sure you work with motivated sellers. Step 2 is to run the numbers, check the cash flow, the ROI, see is it a good deal. If it looks like a good deal and the numbers work, step 3 is to go and view the property. Step 4 is we make an offer on every single property we visit. And step 5 is we follow up because we expect them to say no to the offer that we make. This gentleman, in Steve's case, actually said yes to the offer. So maybe Steve could have paid less, but he thought he had a significant discount anyway, over £100,000 off the true value. Steve, although he bought it cash, he can now instantly refinance with the new same-day refinance that's available. And we're teaching that at our event coming up, which is Strategy Implementation Live in March. So make sure you've got your ticket for that. So you can instantly refinance when you're buying at a big discount, which means you recycle the money and go into the next deal. I believe Steve's going to spend about $25,000 just modernising the property. He's then going to use it for serviced accommodation, and it should be a very, very profitable project. But this is true win-win investing. Yes, it was a pretty motivated seller. Steve understood what he wanted. He solved the problem, and the seller was absolutely delighted with the solution. Steve got a property, probably 100K of instant equity, able to refinance his money straight away. So he's very happy with the deal as well. And it all comes from looking to find this ethical win-win solution, asking the seller, what do you want? What's most important to you? And see if we can solve the problem. Now, sometimes we can't solve the problem. We can't give them as much as they need. We can't do it as quick as they need. Maybe we can just give them a bit of advice and help and show them another alternative. By the way, I believe if people don't have to sell their house, especially at a discount, we shouldn't encourage them to do so. If there's something else they could do, they could refinance or get some money from elsewhere, we should tell them that, and if they want to do that, great. But very often, they have to sell. And if they have to sell, and we can give them a solution that does work for them and works for us, well then that is the true ethical solution. And I would just urge you could be whatever kind of investor you want, but if you could be an ethical investor where you're really trying to put the seller first, and you're saying, how can I help you? And you're thinking, and you're feeling, how can I help you? I promise you, you'll do more deals. You will make more money and you'll sleep better at night. There are people who are out to scam people well, that's up to them. I believe karma's going to come back and get them many times over, many worse than what they've done to someone else. But I believe in the effect of cause and effect in the universe. What you put out there comes back to you many times over. So why not? Of course, be an investor, look for great deals. This is a business, we're not doing it as a charity, but please, please, make sure you're ethical, make sure you get great win-win deals agreed. That's it from me this week. I do hope you've enjoyed watching this podcast. If you have, please like the video, come and comment below. What do you think about buying below market value? Maybe you've heard about people who are ethical and some who are not so ethical. Also, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified anytime a new video comes out. Until next time, I encourage you to invest with knowledge, invest with skill.